Hello, I'm Kevin McEwen. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer here at Madison Health, and it's my opportunity to welcome you as new employees to Madison Health and thank you for choosing us as an employer. We love what we do here, and we hope that you'll find the same as we work to care for patients and our community. I have the opportunity to tell you a little bit about what makes us unique as an organization. We are a small health system in eastern Idaho, as you're aware, and we have the opportunity to take care of our communities that we serve, which include our 5 neighboring counties. So although we are Madison County, we serve counties beyond Madison, and want to share with you a little bit about what that means. So we are a county-owned hospital, which I think is unique to our organization, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about why that makes us unique as a hospital. Essentially, we are owned by the county, but the county doesn't really run us. We are fairly independent. We have a structure that is set up with our county commissioners, our board of trustees, and our administration here at the hospital, and I want to explain a little bit more of what that means. As a county-owned organization, oftentimes county organizations, particularly hospitals, either are funded through tax support. Hospitals are very, very expensive to run, and oftentimes hospitals need tax support to be able to make that work. Or if the hospital happens to be lucky enough to be making money, then oftentimes the counties want some money back because they own the hospital. We have a unique opportunity here at Madison Health to be county-owned, but to be very independent. The county expects us to take really, really good care of our community, but they trust us to be healthcare leaders and to manage the hospital effectively. So the structure is such that the county owns us. We have 3 county commissioners. They are elected officials, and they oversee the hospital. Typically, the county commissioners appoint one of those commissioners to be kind of the point person, to be very involved with our board of trustees and our committees and councils, and particularly the hospital administration and leadership. We have a county commissioner relationship where they attend our board meetings and other meetings throughout each month to really make sure that the hospital is functioning as the county needs. Our county commissioners then select 9 board of trustee members, and these board of trustee members are community members. Everything from retired business individuals, housewives, professors, community members that just live and care about the community, and they donate their time to serving on our hospital board. And so you'll hear them called the hospital board or board of trustees or just trustees. And of these 9 individuals, they meet regularly together and with hospital leadership and community leadership to make sure that the hospital is meeting the strategic needs of the healthcare in our communities. And so we appreciate those trustee members who volunteer their time. They're actually sworn into their position, and they swear a duty to really support the community and to be concerned about the healthcare of the community. And so we have this structure where we've got the 3 county commissioners, 1 specific commissioner that oversees the hospital, these board of trustee members, and they set our strategic plan. We meet with them regularly, but once a year we try to meet with the full board and to look at where the hospital's operating, some of our services, some of our strengths, some of our weaknesses, opportunities to improve the care that we're providing, and they help us with our strategic initiatives every year. And you'll see it as a new employee, our strategic plan, which are dwindled down into wildly important goals, or what we call at Madison Health our WIGs. And then individually as departments, we get together and create pride initiatives. Our vision statement at Madison is to instill pride in our community, for community members, for providers, and certainly for us as staff to be proud of what we do. So beyond the strategic planning part of our hospital, our board of trustees actually asks us to do 3 pretty simple things, and every one of us as employees at Madison Health can contribute to that. And the first and foremost of what they ask us to do is to take really, really good care of our neighbors, friends, and relatives. We are a community hospital, and everybody who comes through our doors, whether it's the hospital, the clinic, our business office, any of our partner organizations, they are our neighbors, friends, and relatives. And if you happen to be from this area, they're probably your neighbor, friend, and relative. And so we ask that they ask us as employees of Madison Health to take really, really good care of our and their neighbors, friends, and relatives. So that's the first thing they ask us to do. The second thing they ask us to do is to make sure that healthcare is very expensive. And it's expensive to receive and it's expensive to manage. But what our Board of Trustees wants us to do is to make sure that we're charging our patients, our neighbors, friends, and relatives, what's appropriate. And as a community hospital, we're able to manage that and navigate that, and to try to manage the expenses that go into running the organization, and then by way of services that are rendered to our patients, they pay for those services, right? So as employees, we have an obligation to make sure that we're using resources appropriately, that we're providing the best possible care at the most reasonable cost. And that's a challenge in healthcare. There was a recent study that said that 1 in 5 Americans right now has a health-related bill somewhere at home in their bill file, or however they organize their billing. 1 in 5 Americans has a health-related bill right now that they're not sure how they're going to pay. Because healthcare is so expensive, and even if you're insured, having a healthcare service oftentimes is an unplanned event that you may not understand or know how you're going to pay. Now, these 1 in 5 Americans plan on paying that bill. They just are going to have to do it, through a payment plan or other ways to make sure that they can pay it, because healthcare is expensive. So, take really, really, really good care of our neighbors and relatives. The second is to make sure that we charge only what's reasonable, if at all possible. And we can do that by managing our own costs as we go about the care of our patients. And the third thing that they ask us to do is employ enough people to do the other two things right. So although it takes money to employ people, and we're grateful for all of you choosing Madison Health, and we certainly want to make sure you get paid for the services that you provide, we want to make sure that we have enough people to do the job right. Second to being a healthcare organization, we are an employer. And we're grateful for employees like you who choose Madison Health to come serve our community in. But we want to make sure that we have the right staff, the right employees, with the right skill, the right talent, the right background. And we don't want to have more staff than we need. So I'm not going to promise you're going to have all the help you ever want on every given day or shift that you're here at Madison Health. But I think you'll notice a difference, particularly if you've worked in other healthcare organizations, that we really strive to make sure that we have the resources that our patients deserve. And part of that resource is you as an employer, as an employee. So make sure that you keep those three things top of mind. Really, really good care of neighbors, friends, and relatives. Making sure that we control those costs best we can, and make sure that we have the resources that we need to make that work. As a new employee, I would invite you to help us in those areas and many, many other areas. You have a fresh set of eyes as you're here in our organization. And if there's a faster, quicker, safer, cheaper way to do something, we absolutely want to hear from you. As you get busy in your role, you're going to find that there's ways to do things better. We want to hear that, particularly if there's a safety issue. We certainly want you to be safe when you're at work. We absolutely want our patients and their family members and our other guests to be safe when they're here in our organization. So don't be afraid to speak up to help us improve. We see ourselves very much as a teaching, learning organization, and part of learning is learning from people like you who are new to our organization, who may have a better way of doing something. So work through your supervisors, managers, directors, or come directly to us in administration if you've got an idea or a concern, something that we can do better. We value that as we're trying to always be better as an organization. I would encourage you to pay attention to assignments that are given to you through our learning management programs, whether that's making sure you're aware of the policies and procedures that you will operate under as an employee. Also on our homepage is our goals and raises form. That's an opportunity for you to know, what is our focus this year? What has our strategic plan been set by our Board of Trustees and hospital administration? What is it that is going to instill you in for pride in what you do? So those pride initiatives are huge, and how you can contribute to the success of our organization, whether it's through a project, a plan, a change, something that we're doing in our organization. So on behalf of Madison Health and on behalf of administration that I'm getting the opportunity to represent, we thank you. We thank you for choosing Madison Health as an employer. We're excited to have you come on board with us, and we ask you to stay committed to our mission, vision, and values, which will be shared with you, and to contribute in a way that we can all instill pride in our community and with our providers and our patients and those that we serve. Thanks for choosing Madison Health. We'll see you around.